So my boys, now it is time to get down to a true review on HIFIMAN Arya. This is the stealth magnet version, this is the updated version. It has been released in 2021, this is the latest version of HIFIMAN Arya. Arya has been one of my favorite headphones for a really long time. I'm quite excited about this. They did not increase the price, but they did increase the quality in everything there is to be about HIFIMAN Arya. I've been wondering, should I be pronouncing this like Arya or Arya? I'm doing it Arya in Romanian. I think that Arya is a closer to correct pronunciation in Hindu too. Now back to the review of the HIFIMAN Arya Stealth Magnet. I should call it Arya Stealth, it's easier to remember the name, or Arya Stealth. HIFIMAN's packages have been quite minimalistic on their latest products. HIFIMAN really likes to invest all of their money in the product and not much on the package, so we are met with the cardboard package for the HIFIMAN Arya. My box actually broke a bit right here along this edge, so it is a pure cardboard box. You should be careful while handling it. It does not come with a carrying case. It does come with a few manuals. This is a little pamphlet for the stealth magnet technology. It comes with a little HIFIMAN Arya manual, and we have the limited warranty for HIFIMAN Arya. We have the cable, which is pretty much the same cable as I got with the original HIFIMAN Arya. The cable still has 3.5mm connectors at the headphone side, and it has 6.3mm at the connector side. So basically we have a 6.3mm cable. This is not good for XLR or for 4.4mm balanced connectors. Now the headphone has got a few upgrades, one of which is aesthetic. It looks a bit better right now. It has black grills, black color, black ear cup holders, and this is a black headband. Now the headband is made of a leather/pleather material. It is quite good. The original Arya I received like 2 years ago. It's been more than 2 years, it's been about 3 years ago. So the original Arya, the non-stealth magnet version, still has no sign of wear or usage. Like, it's been holding up like a champ. So the new Arya is exciting. They have a more resistant adjusting mechanism. As you can see, it does a loud click while adjusting them, which is quite cool. I like that. The construction quality improved a bit. They actually had a few batches of the original Arya with this upgrade as well, which is really cool. Nice job to the guys at HIFIMAN. Arya is very light. This is probably the lightest flagship and high-end headphone I have to date, and extremely comfortable. I prefer them over the Sennheiser HD800S because the Sennheiser is actually quite loose on my head and I tend to lose them if I move around, while the HIFIMAN Arya sits really nice in place. This is how they will look on you. As you can see, they are pretty cool. They are elegant, stylish. They are not going to mess your hair too much, and they offer no amount of passive noise isolation. I can hear absolutely everything that is happening in the room. You will leak a lot of sound, like you will have a ton of leakage with the HIFIMAN Arya, which is quite okay actually. They are open so that they sound open. They are somewhat hard to drive. They require mostly desktop amplifiers to sound good, but they can be driven out of pretty much any player with a balanced 4.4 connector if you have a balanced cable. Speaking of balanced cables, I want to say a big thank you to Danny, a friend, who sent me one of his cables. He actually didn't send me to review this one. He's an artisan, which means that he makes art out of cables. He does not sell those. So this is something that he wanted to give me as a present and I wanted to share with you guys. So this is the type of package that he uses. This is such an artistic thing to do. So I got this artisanal cable for the HIFIMAN Arya Stealth, and this cable is actually a bit longer than the original one. It is also a bit more flexible, if you can see, and it has a 4.4 balanced connector. So now I can use the HIFIMAN Arya with DAPs like Astelenkiern SA180, iBasso DXT100 and so on. I really wanted to thank you, Danny, for this cable. I really like it. It sounds quite good with the HIFIMAN Arya. It's just something I wanted to share with you guys. The passion for music is never dead, and don't forget, music is something that is artisanal. It is about art, making music is an art. It should never be commercial. Music is not something you make to sell. Music something is made out of your own soul, to express your feelings, to express everything. This is why I'm making videos. I'm making videos because I want to bring a smile to your faces. I'm not making those videos to help the guys with the headphones sell them, because I could just be making the written reviews. They are better for that anyways. Like, those videos are just fun. I just want you to have a good time on audiophile-heaven. I want to improve as an actor. I want to bring a smile to everyone's faces. This is the point of audiophile-heaven YouTube channel. If it wasn't obvious so far, I'm all about the art of creating, the art of writing, the art of photography. Well, I don't take photos, it is my girlfriend, she is the photo artist now. I like artistic things, it is a big thing. Music is all about art and about musicality and about sending a message. This is where the HIFIMAN Arya stealth version comes in really handy. This has to be one of the most musical signatures I've ever heard. But the musicality is not actually the strongest point of it. And after all this reviewing, I would be willing to say that HIFIMAN Arya is one of the best sounding headphones ever created. They are designed to be free. They are not designed to sound just open. Like, they don't just sound open, they sound free. And this is why I've mentioned at the beginning of the video that they leak a lot. They don't isolate, but you don't really hear the headphone in them. Like, I was wearing them and this happens every single time I start music. I'm wearing them, I can barely feel that I'm wearing them. They don't isolate, so they are not heavy, they are very comfortable, they have just the right amount of clamping force for my head, and I press play on my music. And if it is not very loud, because on loudness of course it would be quite scary, if it is quiet or medium and volume, I always think that I started my speakers. So I look at the speakers, I look at my computer, I try to configure it. I just can't believe my hearing about how open and how realistic the soundstage of the HIFIMAN Arya is. You can hear sounds coming from any depths they were intended to come from, like any single depth. You can hear sounds coming from any direction, in front of you, from behind you. You can pretty much hear music coming from everywhere. It's so amazing, this sensation of soundstage. It is quite different from Sennheiser HD800S. And HD800S is the type of headphone that will have a very wide soundstage, very expansive, but will have very poor instrument separation and very poor imaging. Compared to that, Arya has an extreme amount of instrument separation and very good imaging. It's excellent. You can hear all of those sounds, but they are well separated from each other. You can hear absolutely everything coming individually. You can hear every single individual instrument. Like listening to an orchestral piece, you can actually pinpoint that there is a violin playing right there, and you can actually point with your finger right into the direction where it is coming from. You can actually hear all of those things. They are a great headphone for binaural recordings, like that's like the cream on the cake. And I have also tested them with the Smith A16, that is a DSP processor, and it can actually not improve their soundstage too much. Their soundstage is already very wide and very realistic, but that one can improve on the bass a bit. And talking about the sound of the HIFIMAN Arya, their bass is actually not neutral, but it is not bassed either. It is enhanced, but not quite bassed. It is a very smooth, very satisfying type of bass that goes as low as 20 Hz. They have no roll-off in the bass. Then the mid-range is very natural, very crisp and very detailed, but at the same time it is not very intrusive, although I wouldn't call the mid-range recessed. The mid-range has just the right spot that it should have. It is not really forward, but it is not really recessed either. It just is there. Like, songs that are made to sound wide and distant are wide and distant, and songs that are made to be forward, like punk or like metal, are actually quite forward, and you don't get your metal scattered all over the place. And this is something that I did not enjoy quite so much with the Sennheiser HD800S. HD800S tends to scatter your music, like it tends to apply that signature of itself to everything that's being played through it. And this is another thing I really enjoy about HIFIMAN Arya. They are extremely transparent. They don't really have a character that they impose on music. They play the music like they are an open window. They are tiny windows to your music collection. They aren't made to color your music, and I really enjoy that. I really like that. Their detail, as I've been saying, is quite excellent. I really enjoy the detail of the HIFIMAN Arya. The soundstage is over the top good. They are somewhat hard to drive though, and the main DAC/amp I've been using for driving the HIFIMAN Arya have been the Cyrus One cast. Quite ironically, I still have that on the desk, up and pep for reviewing. I have to review it. I have to make both the video and the written review soon. Yeah, it's been a while, but actually we had pretty bad weather, and that's a big thing because when you have bad weather, I can't really do b-rolls or photos either. We can't do those, and I suggested at some points that we do it indoors, but they don't have quite the same quality. They are okay indoors, but they aren't the same quality. I want to be unique. This is what I've been talking about. I want to be artistic. I want those videos to be all about art. I don't want my videos to be perfect. I don't really want those videos to be technical. I just want you to have some fun, to just forget that you're listening to a review. I want you to feel like you're having a talk with me and like I'm answering your questions. I want you to feel like you're listening to someone talk to you. I don't want you to feel like you are listening to another commercial piece, because if my videos end up being commercial, I will just stop making them. It's not the point. It's just not the point of doing videos on YouTube. If I had more talent, I would have started a rock band and I would have made music. But alas, I really don't have the edge to play instruments. My fingers are quite soft and they are only good for typing. I have never been able to really play the guitar well enough to start a band. Now with HIFIMAN Arya, I'm always singing, and they actually have this tendency to be so engaging that make you want to sing. They make you want to sing. They make you want to feel them, to feel the music. And that is the thing. That is the thing I really love about music. I love live music. I love being there in the center of music. And this is how HIFIMAN Arya tends to present music. If you are interested in purchasing them, HIFIMAN Arya, the stealth version, is an improvement over the original Arya. The new HIFIMAN Arya stealth magnets is clearer. It is also slightly more neutral than the original. The original used to be a bit more colored, a bit warmer, also a bit more bassy, and the new one is a bit more neutral. The new one is more transparent. It tends to have a better timing, it tends to have better texture, and it is not a grainy headphone. The new one tends to be even smoother than the original when it comes to smooth textures, smooth bass, smooth treble, but it still is more detailed than the original. Like, they improved the sound quite a bit. The new HIFIMAN Arya Stealth Magnet headphone tends to be an upgrade over the original, but it is not like going from the original Arya to HIFIMAN HA6SA or to an entirely different headphone. You can hear that it's the same headphone, but it has been refined. The speed is a bit faster, the revealing abilities are a bit better, it is more transparent, everything just improved a bit in every single area, including comfort and overall build quality. Now, this is a headphone that is quite Spartan in its design, in its package. If you are comparing it to something like the Meze Empyrean, the Empyrean was actually quite cool. I've managed to listen to it a few times. The Meze Empyrean was cool too, but it was more neutral than the HIFIMAN Arya. The HIFIMAN Arya tends to be more transparent. It tends to have a bit less bass. The Empyrean is a bit more V-shaped. The Empyrean has harsher edges. It tends to be more aggressive. And the new Arya tends to be smoother, more musical, more transparent, and more realistic. All in all, I do prefer the new Arya Stealth Magnets. This has been and this will be one of my favorite headphones, like, for a really long while. The original Arya is one of the headphones I recommend the most to every one of you guys. I know that you've been asking me a lot of questions about what headphone you should get. If you are watching this video, just get this. If you are interested in it, give it a chance. HIFIMAN has one of the best return policies, one of the best customer supports, and I've had terrible experiences with some companies lately, and HIFIMAN is one of those companies that actually has proper customer support. They have multiple locations for returning items. If they encounter a defect, they will send you a new one right away as soon as they receive the old one. They don't really spend much time repairing them. They repair them internally and refurbish them. HIFIMAN is that great. They are one of the best companies right now. You should totally get a headphone from them if you are considering it. This one is quite expensive. It is a flagship, but I am also going to be reviewing the HIFIMAN Deva Pro, which is not a flagship. That one is an entry-level headphone or more of a mid-ranger. Now, if you would like to help me, I want to kindly ask you to use the Amazon links in the video description. It would help me a lot if you could use them. You could also donate if you feel like donating. I have a PayPal link in the video description, or you could send me a few cents or a few dollars. I could buy some bread and maybe have something to eat for the next few days. I want to thank everyone who has donated me something so far. I am really thankful for everything. I really mean it. I am really thankful. I hope that you guys have liked this video. I hope you'll consider leaving a like on this video. Also, press subscribe to audiophile-heaven for more awesome content from me. I hope you have the loveliest of weeks in there, and I hope we'll see each other really soon. Bye.